Good morning, everyone. It's the notorious one, the V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man. Actually, my main man's not here. He'll be back tomorrow. Um, oh, shoot. I got to send him a link. Give me 1 second while I get CJ on board. He's mobile. Totally forgot to send my man the link. Link to the show. Anyway, guys, you can follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money, Facebook, Rogue Money, DTube, Rogue Money, Steam It, Rogue Money, Apple News, Rogue Money everywhere you want us to be. You can also check us out on every single podcasting app known to humanity. And also, we got, let me just text CJ real quick. This guy is sitting in paradise. Just sent me a picture. He's just lounging somewhere in Florida. It's beautiful. Wow. Nice hotel, Siege. Very nice hotel. I like it. Wow. Impressive. Anyway, guys, check us out everywhere you want us to be. With that being said, check out our sponsors, remaincom.net, remaincom.net. Don't freak out. Remain calm. Whether you need to get an improvement in your credit score or you need personal funding, Remain Calm is the place to get that done. Also, check out the cryptoschool.io. Guys, it has been on fire. It has been on fire. The cryptoschool.io. I mean, people are just literally just paying for a year's worth of membership in a matter of a day or two or three of trades. Amazing time. You want to learn how the game is played. You want to make some money for yourself. Use the time to build up wealth for yourself. And there he is.
Good morning, V. How are you?
Dude, I just saw the picture you sent, man. That is a gorgeous hotel, man. I am staying there the next time I get down in Florida.
They do. Yeah, they do it right here. I mean, just the atmosphere for kids, for family.
I want to move to Florida. Like, I would leave tomorrow.
Well, I know the weather in the east and north, it got pretty bad with the storms and everything that moved through, but I'm not bragging or anything like that. But yesterday was about 83, 84 degrees, low humidity. It was nice, V.
Man. Only thing here is like, it's funny. Like one day we had like 58 degrees outside, and the next day it's like 4 inches of snow and like 30. Siege, I'm sick of bending rims. I'm sick of road salt. I'm sick of all the crap. I'm done with New York, man. I just, man, oh man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I know in my home state, they went literally from the snow to the next day, 40 and 50 degrees with tornado warnings.
Yeah, it's see, when you're young, that the 4 season stuff is fun. Oh yeah, winter, yeah, the fall. It's just, like case in point, like last week, the family and I went out to a resort up in the Northeast, and it's freaking freezing outside. So there was an opportunity to go skiing and winter sports kind of stuff. Man, we just stayed at the indoor water park all day. Well, it's like the whole season thing is fun. It's cool when you're younger, but you're getting older. Your joints are starting to creak a little bit. Yesterday I went to like physical therapy or sports conditioning to get my my joints, my hips, and my back realigned. And just you realize how jacked up you are as you're getting older. And Florida looks up. Oh my God! I mean, there's something about being outside jogging on the beach at 70 degrees in the middle of February. There's something about that,
Yeah, all that natural vitamin D, being indoors and all that stuff. I just, being in the fresh air. Yeah, I think it's healthy. Although during the summer here it does get pretty darn humid, but you could cope with that outside of a few hurricanes every now and then, having to vacate the state.
Oh, man, every time I vacation in Florida, here's the deal. It would be, I'd go in the dead of summer sometimes. It'd be like 80, 90 degrees outside, almost 100. I just sweat. I'd be fine. Like summer in New York, I'm drained. I'm like, I just want to stay inside. I'm like seeking shelter from the sun. In Florida, I guess because, you're surrounded by water, I'm just fine. I have so much energy. Over here, see, I got to drink like 3-4 cups of coffee to get through the day. I'm in Florida, man. The Mrs. Gorilla had to remind me, hey, you didn't drink any coffee today. I was like, oh snap, let me go get a cup of coffee. It's like 2 p.m. It's the sun. It's the ocean air. It's, man, what am I doing wrong, Siege?
Yeah, Governor Tim Scott? Yeah, Governor Tim Scott down here has done a pretty remarkable job. Obviously, a huge tourist mecca. Our Uber driver told us yesterday, I can't remember the number of millions of tourists that came through this area from about every corner of the earth to visit this place. I mean, I don't think anyone could really manage it and not do well just because of the amount of tourist economy that's driven off of here. But for the most parts, what I've seen, the roads are very well upkept.
Oh, man.
The landscaping. I guess the housing right now down here is kind of an issue just because it's had such a huge influx of people moving here that it's actually driven housing and prices up because of the shortage. So they're countering that right now. They're trying to figure out.
It's still cheaper than New York, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Through the nose. Still cheaper than New York. It's crazy, man. It's I'll take it. I'll take the weather. Man. Oh.
I saw the show topics and I'm excited that we have some good news to talk about. Right? Some exciting things. And I'm sure our listeners. And by the way, great show yesterday. I listened to the whole thing. Went through again. I think you nailed it as far as April. As far as once I get back in the saddle, 100%. Let's partner with some heavyweights. Let's get other people involved to talk about this. We got to keep the agenda going. We got to keep it, America first, focused on the priorities that we put. We elected President Trump to. So let's do that, V.
No, 1,000%, my man. It's funny because I had some guys contact me via Twitter. Yeah, V. I don't know. I think I must have bruised their manginas or something like that. But they were all up in arms. Folks, here's the deal. This guy, Q, whatever you want to call him, guy or group. See, did he not say April is the month of arrest? Did he not emphasize the month of arrests?
March storm, right? It was the March storm. The last weekend over Easter weekend, a lot of the chants, because I still stay active as far as monitoring the different chan boards and then also the social, media groups. And there's thousands of people in these networks and these groups that are posting every day. And last weekend was supposed to be last weekend was supposed to be a big weekend with, major arrests, great things happening. And, my concern is that, and there's new information coming out in Wisconsin regarding the fact that something V, you and I have talked about is that the Democrats are really storming up for the 2018 midterms, and with the QAnon and many people falling asleep at the wheel, just waiting, just pausing, just hoping. We can't hope for the best. We have to go out there and make it happen. This has become just a huge distraction, and that's what concerns me, V.
No, same here, man. That's my biggest gripe. And here's the deal: if I'm wrong or if we're wrong, we're more than happy to have egg on our face. We're more than happy to say, okay, guys, we're wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, and all what Siege and I are trying to say to everybody is, hey, we're just trying to caution all of you. That's it. Please don't fall asleep at the wheel. Please don't let your foot off the pedal. Please don't stop what you need to do in order to get your preps in place. That's what this whole entire thing is about. Now, one thing, again, definitively, this character or this group has specifically said that April is the month of arrest. Now, folks, if there's nothing happens in April, can we all come to some sort of an agreement to move on? If something does happen in April, I'd be the first. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll be celebrating with all you Q fans. I'll be right there. I'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm wrong. I have egg on my face. I'll eat crow. Let's go. You don't get it. This is not about my ego. This is not about me being right. I just want my country back. That's it. That's it. That's it. I just want my country back. It's as simple as that. Folks, you got to understand. Look, I deal in international business. I know specifically where we are severely lacking, and we need to make improvements. So we have a lot of catching up to do. And as long as you got these bad apples, these bad characters in place in various levels, bad stuff will continue to happen and nothing will progress. They need to be taken out of the way. So, Siege, we got some good news. I guess we could start with the first one, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about a need. I mean, I think it's one aspect of government's role is to protect its citizens, keep them safe, keep, from any type of crime happening, and to put our troops on the border as a safeguard. What country doesn't do that, V?
Exactly. I mean, you try to cross in from Guatemala over to Mexico, you're going to deal with the Mexican, border. And they'll shoot you. Okay, you try to go to any other country in the world, except for the crazy lunatic Western nations. Every other country in the world, you have a military force. You have something on there. So this is a good thing. Okay, this is a very good thing. President Trump said on Tuesday that he will deploy the U.S. troops along the southern border to guard against the illegal crossing into the country until we can have a wall. That is the best damn move ever made. Why the hell are we in 900 some odd military bases in 130 some odd countries guarding everybody else's border but our own? It's a waste of resources. Until we can have a wall and proper security, we're going to be guarding our border with the military, and that's a big step, Trump told reporters at the White House while sitting nearby Defense Secretary James Mattis. Trump's comments will follow several comments he made about a huge caravan, which the libtards are calling it the caravan of the saints, CJ. Caravan of the saints. These are basically people an average of an 80 IQ. They have no marketable skills. They don't speak no English. They're going to come to an economically challenged United States and compete for low-end jobs. I mean, this is the most stupidest thing in the world. Okay, there's nothing for these people here. Okay, so you have this caravan from Central America, immigrants traveling through Mexico unobstructed by local authorities until the Mexican government announced late Monday night that the caravan will be broken up. Why? Because Trump got on the phone and said, listen, Nieto, whatever the hell your name is, either you fix this problem or we just cut off aid. We just cut off aid and we withdraw out NAFTA. We cut off aid and you're done. And all of a sudden, the fat cats who are awoken to this, all of a sudden they stop. Okay, now these are a caravan of people from Honduras now coming across Mexico. Look, here's the deal. There's great immigrants and there's not so great immigrants. America is a beautiful, amazing country, one that we should voraciously defend. One in which we don't cheaply throw away. We've been asleep at the wheel for over 100 some odd years, and it's time for us to wake up. And if we have to draw the line somewhere, we have to draw it on the border. We need a damn wall. Now, we need to preserve our culture. Now, somebody who's listening to the show for the first time says, V, some sort of racist white man. Correction, I'm not white. I'm actually very brown. I'm a mutt. I'm a mutt of various races. I'm a mutt. But the point is, if we don't preserve our Western ideals and our Western culture, and this is why I get pissed off and I rail at those who are the head, who are the so-called quote-unquote leaders of Western culture, we have become very nihilistic. We have become very fatalistic. We've become very masochistic in which the way we view ourselves. We have divided along lines of race. We've divided and balkanized much of our population. And it's stupid. The rallying call, the beauty of Western civilization is the ideals, is the concept of a republic, is a concept that these founding documents that our forefathers, who were way smarter than us, by the way, I mean, it's a known fact that, IQ in the West has dropped 10 to 15 points since the Victorian times. Okay, so our forefathers were much smarter. They dealt with tyranny. So in order for us to preserve who we are, the first thing we need to do is put up a border. Once that border is set, we need to do other things to foment the preservation of Western culture. And that starts with the stopping of the demonization of Western culture. Folks, go around the world. I've traveled to quite a few places. Go around the world. Okay, you will not find culture such as what we have in the West anywhere. We are eating the fruits of enlightenment. We are eating the fruits of the Renaissance. We are eating the fruits of various liberations. We are eating the fruits of the Whigs. We're eating the fruits of the Magna Carta. We're eating the fruits of the Revolutionary War. We're eating the fruits of the Civil War. We're eating the fruits of the things that has brought us to where we are today. Let's not throw it all away because of some identity politics, because of all this BS. This is good news because these people are being called the caravan of saints. I guarantee you, CJ, this is some sort of, some sort of Soros nonsense or some NGO nonsense that's behind this, brother.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, definitely a Soros, one of those, obviously for the media, the publicity that's going to be drawn around it, V. And you make very valid points in regards to the whole aspect of controlling, managing a culture and preserving it. But also, let's keep in mind, too, that what voting block segment does this favor? What happens when these folks come over, that they're given this information, given this, the government welfare, they're placed on the voting blocks of the Democrats, and they fall into the ranks of these social justice places because obviously, they're conditioned. They're conditioned to this because they're accepting the government. They're accepting the government without any type of question. And how many states? California. Several other states that we see these voting blocks where it shifts an entire state on the voting. And I'm sick of it. It needs to end. That's the least thing we can do. B. It's amazing. This has been several years, but if you ever try to drive like over to Mexico, do you know what it's like when you go across? You go across, your search, your vehicle search, they check your paperwork. I mean, it's like top security, but yet on the American side, we have so many open places that people just come across at will. And let's also keep in mind, it's also placing many of those at harm because they pay these groups like the Coyotes to try to run them, to smuggle them into the United States and putting a lot of families at risk. Let's shut it down. Let's end all this madness.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, you have this caravan of tens of thousands. People think, it's a caravan of 1,200 people. There's more than 1,200 people. I've seen, like, as far as the eye could see, as far as the horizon, you have tens of thousands of non-English speaking, low IQ, zero talent, unwashed masses coming in. Okay? If that offends you, I apologize. But let's be realistic. Cut the emotional BS. Let's deal with real talk. Real talk is you have unskilled, low IQ individuals from a very impoverished part of the world coming in. This is the same tactic. See, North Africa and the Middle East, they use those populations to batter. They did like a battering ram technique on Europe. This is to change the voter base. This is to create a global, I wouldn't say global anymore. This is to create a neo-feudalistic system in much of the Western countries. They're trying, we don't have Northern Africa. We don't have a population of impoverished, low IQ Muslims and North Africans. We don't have that. We're not near any of those countries. But what we do have is a great deal of unwashed masses, and I say this as a brown man, unwashed masses in Central and South America that are pouring over the border. That is a huge problem. A massive problem. These people will add nothing. There will be a parasitic drain on us, but what they will continue to do is help to flip the culture. What they will continue to do is take a state like Texas and turn it blue. Turn it blue. If you don't think this country is in the fight for its life, you haven't been paying attention. If you don't think this country is in a fight for its life, you've had your head firmly shoved up your rear. If you don't think that we are fighting for our borders, our language, our culture, we're trying to preserve, we are the last bastion of Western culture on the planet. You can throw Europe away. Europe is done. Europe is done. Canada, forget about it. It's run by soy boys and feminazis. That's Canada. Australia used to be like us. They're done too. We are what is like. New Zealand is no matter who. I think there's more sheep there than people. So who cares? America is the only thing. We are the only light left on Western civilization, and they are trying to snuff us out. So I congratulate President Donald Trump. Bravo, sir, for sending out the military and having them stand guard, fully armed, right at the border. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, V, one other real quick point is I want to make is that, listen, there are legal methods, to come to this country, okay? Whether it's through an H-1B visa program, many of specialty practices, whether it's pharmacists, engineers, come across with these countries and these processes. I had a cousin that came to the United States last summer from Mexico, came across on a 6-month visa, right? Came across 6 months, got to, tour parts of the U.S., learn about the culture. She loved it here. Unfortunately, she ran out of time to try to get into an education, to some type of find a company that was willing to she has a medical background training to try to support her in that process. So what does she do? She does the right thing. She goes back, after her visa is expired. She has to wait 6 months to reapply, to come back and try it again. There's processes in these place for people who will contribute to add value to our country to come across. So I don't want anyone that's listening or catches this program say, oh, V and CJ, they're racist, they hate all, no.
Brown guys, for the love of God.
So that's not it at all, so yeah, we welcome, obviously, but do it the right way.
Yeah, 1,000%. Do it the right way. It's you should look. Here's the deal, CJ. I don't know. I think I've told you the story. I tried to apply for immigrant. This is years ago. This is back in 2011 or something like that. I tried to apply just for kicks and giggles, see what the immigration process is like in Canada. I listed my assets. I listed this. I listed my education. I listed what I do. Dude, I was denied. You gotta understand. You can't make it easy. There has to be a filtration process. Otherwise, you're going to get in with you're going to get the talented people, but you're going to get a lot of dregs. Okay, you're going to get that wine, that fine wine of talent and intellect and skill set. But you're also going to bring in the dregs. Now, if you have no filter whatsoever, none whatsoever, like what we have in the southern border, you're getting nothing but dregs. Okay? Europe. One time, Siege, I wanted to, we wanted to go to Europe and spend some time vacationing there. Scratch that off. I would refuse to be sitting at a cafe in France, enjoying a croissant and drinking some espresso, and all of a sudden there's a van of love, or a van of cultural enlightenment being driven on the sidewalk heading straight for us. No, I'm good. I'm very good. I'm fine with that. I'm chilling. I'm good. So that that's the thing. Common sense immigration that works for this country is what we all need. Go ahead, Steve.
Absolutely. No, I was going to agree with you. No, that 1,000% V.
Absolutely, man. Anyway, we got another bit of great news. After the expulsion of the Russian diplomats and all the other shenanigans, and it was looking really bleak and bad. Trump invites Putin for a White House summit. The Russian president was invited when President Donald Trump telephoned to congratulate him on his March victory. as the president himself confirmed on March 20th, hours after his last call with President Putin. The two had discussed a bilateral meeting in the not-too-distant future at a number of potential venues, including the White House. This is from Sarah Huckabee Sanders. The administration had no further comment on the matter, she said. The Kremlin's foreign policy aide, Yuri Yushakov, told reporters on Monday that Trump has suggested the meeting at his official presidential residence and workplace in the U.S. Capitol. Quote, when our presidents spoke on the phone, Trump suggested having the meeting in Washington at the White House, Yushakov said. This is quite an interesting positive idea, he added. Trump congratulated Putin on his election victory during their phone call. Planning for the visit was interrupted by the expulsion of Russian diplomats from the U.S. and other Western states following the poisoning of the former spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter in England. The U.S. has supported the UK's claim that Russia was responsible for poisoning with a military-grade nerve agent. Russia, of course, denies the accusation because it is complete BS. And tensions have only continued to escalate, especially with the whole Russia 2016 presidential election meddling in BS. So this is good, Siege. This is good. I like it.
Yeah, he just needs to put it up in the face of all the neocons. You know, listen, the media, over half of the population is never going to give Trump ever a get out of jail free card. There's no reason for him to continuously have to answer for these. So do it. Bring Boris to the United States, bring him into the Oval Office, have a meeting, take pictures, and let it fly in their faces, because I would love to hear their selective outrage on this.
I would love to hear it as well, especially now that Mueller is somewhere in the United Arab Emirates. He's like in Abu Dhabi and Dubai looking for potential Russian leaks and this and that and the other. I mean, who cares? Just bring it all over. You know, just throw it in everybody's face. That'll be a wonderful thing. And if these arrests, as this Q character claims, will happen in April, all the more sweeter. I would love to go into summer with a smile. See, when was the last time you really smiled in summer? Because hey, you know that a country's in good hands. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? This will be the first summer in a very, very, very long time, in almost damn near 20 years, Siege. Damn near 20 years. This would be the first summer where we could actually chill, knowing that everything's all right. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would celebrate it. I would celebrate it. An arrest, an indictment, something. Just give me a little something, just a little trickle of something to keep that optimism going. Obviously we'll do our part, to keep it going, V. But so have the meeting. Stop worrying about what the media is going to say, because they're never going to shed any type of positive light on anything that Trump does. Let's move forward. And for all those neocons, for the Republicans that keep arguing this thing regarding the Russian narrative, because they're out there as well, V. Just do it. Have the meeting. You know what? Bring Boris into the that meeting place where Trump did when he met with that DC cop that he said was being racist, and had a beer with him. Do you remember that whole incident when he first got into office? That professor that was got roughed up a little bit. So bring him into that area. Have a Moscow Mule. Get your copper cups. Have a Moscow Mule with Boris right there. Put a Russian vodka on the table. And do it. Let's watch the outrage happen.
Yeah, Trump doesn't drink, but he could have like seltzer water with some lime in a Moscow Mule cup. Damn it, Moscow Mule stuff sounds delicious right about now. That's too early.
I'm gonna order one here in a minute, poolside.
Rub it in, why don't you? God, see, show me that picture you sent me, man. Dude, I'm feeding Florida. I'm feeding it.
Well, here, V, I'll give our audience a little glimpse. Okay, you ready?
All right, go for it, bro.
Yeah, all right, hang on.
He's gonna give us a little snippet. Go ahead, man. Dude, you're in paradise. Hold on. Let me. There, look at that. Damn, that's nice. You're right near the beach, bro, huh?
No, we're in Orlando.
Awesome. That is great. I see the sky. All right, cool.
Yeah, I killed my cam.
There you go.
Did you see any of it though?
Yeah, man, that was awesome,
Okay, cool.
bro. Awesome. That was awesome.
Anyway, back to the topic. Yeah, I'm sorry for our listeners.
No. That was a treat, man. That was a treat. That's, dude. I'm sitting here. I'm like, it's like 30-something degrees outside. It's another crappy rainy day here in New York. I'm done. I'm done. Anyway, moving on. Fastest growing bank asset in America. Steve, you and I have been talking about this for quite some time, and it is what it is. The fastest growing asset, drum roll, please. It's subprime. Subprime mortgages, subprime auto loans. They say the goldfish has the shortest memory in the animal kingdom, something like 3 seconds, but it turns out this is only isn't actually true.
Only in America.
Only in America, bro, like Don King would say. Researchers at the Israeli Technikon Institute of Technology conducted an experiment in 2009 proving that even the tiniest fish could be trained to recall certain sounds as long as 5 months. According to another study from the University of Chicago, dolphins ostensibly have the best memories in the animal kingdom. At an experiment, they were able to recall a distinct whistle after 20 years. Then there are bankers. Financicus dumbasicus. I love that. I love that name for bankers. Financicus dumbasicus. Dumbasses. Okay.
Love it.
Curious species, not fully related to the animal kingdom, but somewhat descended from protozoa, who display truly bizarre behavior when it comes to memory function. Case in point, throughout the mid-2000s, bankers engaged in woefully short-sighted self-destructive behavior by loaning their depositors money to risky borrowers who put no money down to buy overpriced houses. These loans, called subprime mortgages, and before long, some even more destructive bankers began packing thousands of these subprime mortgages together into gigantic bonds, which bankers would trade amongst themselves. Everybody in the financial system was in on it. The mortgage brokers raked in huge fees for closing individual loans. The investment bankers made money packaging the loans into subprime bonds. And the ratings agencies like S&P and Moody's made money by slapping AAA pristine, crispy ratings on these bonds, essentially promising the world that they are, quote-unquote, risk-free. Now, looking back, they obviously weren't risk-free. Banks were making risky loans to borrowers who had plenty of history of not paying their debts based upon their premise that their home prices will increase in value. What kind of stupid crap is that? And when home prices started to fall, the entire apparatus collapsed in 2008. Now, you think of the entire Financicus dumbassus species would have learned from this experience, but you would be wrong. And that's because the Financicus dumbassus, a.k.a. the banker, has an incredibly short-lived memory. Not even a decade after these subprime loans brought down the entire global economy, they are back. In fact, it's the fastest-growing investment in U.S. banks is subprime. Over the last 12 months, the subprime volume among U.S. banks have doubled and already on pace to double again this year. Bottom line, dumbass bankers are once again back to their old ways, making risky loans to borrowers with pitiful credit. What could possibly go wrong? Leave it to Financicus dumbasicus to try the same thing again and expect a different result. It's textbook insanity. Of course, they don't call it subprime anymore. Now it's called non-QM. Did you realize that? See, they changed the name. It's no longer subprime. It's non-QM, meaning non-qualified mortgage. What does that mean? I mean, if you get it's a non-QM, it's a non-qualified mortgage, but why are you giving them a mortgage if it's a non-qualified mortgage? It's crazy. But it's exactly the same thing. Borrowers who don't qualify for a conventional loan because of their pitiful credit and inability to make a down payment, it's as if they think that they'll be able to avoid the same consequences simply by changing the name. It's genius. As a friendly reminder, Financicus dumbasicus, Financius dumbassus, isn't making these subprime non-QM loans with its own money. No. They're making these loans again, CJ, again, with their depositors' money. Your money. That's right, folks. That's right. Yeah, keep all your money in the bank. That's always a smart thing. And to continue learning how to insure. You guys remember what happened to Washington Mutual? You all remember, anybody who had a Washington Mutual account, you woke up one day and you didn't have a bank account anymore, or it got switched, or you didn't know what the hell was going on. Well, it's going to be worse this time around, folks, because nobody's coming in to save the banks because the whole system is bankrupt and insolvent. And to continue learning how to ensure that so because of if you live, work, bank, invest, own a business, and hold assets in just one country, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. And this is why it's important for you to diversify. It's important for you to have assets away. It's important for you to have income-producing assets. Well, assets are supposed to be making income, otherwise it's not an asset to begin with. You're making high-stakes bet that everything's going to be okay in that one country forever. All it would take is for the economy to tank, natural disaster to hit, or the political system to go into turmoil, and you could lose everything. And that's the whole entire point here, folks. We're on the verge of losing everything again because the same idiots are doing the same stupid thing over and over and over again. Why? Why is this happening? Why is subprime or non-QM loans? Why are they back? There's no solvency. There's no liquidity in the system. These banks are insolvent. We are in a solvency crisis and have been for quite some time, since at least 2009. All the liquidity was sucked out. Okay. And whatever liquidity we have and whatever solvency we have, it's in little raindrops, little puddles. It's not enough. So using the fancy gimmicks and tricks of derivatives and various other financial quote-unquote instruments, and I think, things like subprimes and credit defaults, all these things should be banned. They should ban derivatives because it's bullshit. It's fake. It's not real. There's no underlying asset underneath any of these derivatives. This is what's going to happen. This is what is clogging up the entire system. You see, folks, the Western financial system, specifically in America as well, specifically in America, it's held together by electronic duct tape. Electronic duct tape and electronic crazy glue is what's holding the whole entire thing together. And it's coming apart. It's coming apart. So here we are again, exactly 10 years later, and we're in the same situation we were in 2008, Siege.
Yeah, absolutely. And wait till the next monthly report comes out in regards to trade. You're going to see even a huge amount of deficit, even increase as far as our foreign trade in the gap. It's actually going to increase. The video is amazing. Like within the past 2 weeks, before I left on vacation, you're seeing it back to 2012, where you were getting like 3 or 4 credit card offers every day in the mail. I got one in the mail that said, if it's okay if you're in negative equity in your auto loan up to $10,000, we can refinance you. Come on in and get a new vehicle. They just need as much money as they can get right now, trying to come back into the system, and it's getting tapped out. The well's drying up, B.
It is, and the subprime cars. Look at GM just came out, Siege. They said they're not going to report monthly auto sales anymore.
I wonder why.
Exactly. We're going to just do quarterly. It's you gotta think for yourself. What the heck's really going on here? Dealer inventories are still overflowing. There's nobody buying cars. Everybody's overextended on credit. The average, age of the car on the American road is over 11 years. Damn near 12 years. The average age of the car right now. So these are problems, man. These are serious problems because you know what? The American consumer's tapped out. He's tapped out. Our economic system's tapped out. And it's becoming very, very problematic. Anyway, folks, apart from the subprime market, apart from the economic stuff, at least there's some good news here with the border. The faster our troops get there to secure the border, the better off we'd be. We need to stop this caravan of idiots from coming in. And if you're offended by me calling these people unwashed masses and a caravan of idiots, then I recommend that you take some shots of testosterone, grow a spine, develop a brain, do something. But if you're like me and if you're a viewer of the show, you're gonna be on point. You understand what's at stake here. What's at stake here is your country. So what's on stake here is your freedom, is your future. So that's a good thing. So I'm glad that the military is being sent there, and I'm also glad that Vlad and Trump are going to be talking soon and meeting up soon. That's also a very good thing. Breathe a sigh of relief.
Absolutely.
Some light in the darkness here.
And it's going to be interesting to watch the news today to see how the MSM tries to spin this whole YouTube shooter thing.
No, don't say that word. You got demonetized yesterday.
Person with a something. Photo shoot. It was
she only had a 2-megapixel camera. Luckily, she only had a 2-megapixel camera, and only 3 or 4 people had their pictures taken. And she was eventually found with a self-inflicted selfie. She did a selfie on herself, and that was it. But I'm glad that she was an Iranian Muslim, far left-wing, animal-loving, vegan libtard. Oh, it was beautiful. The left had no idea what to do with her. The mainstream media is like, damn, it's not a white male. What are we supposed to do? It's not a white conservative Christian male. No, it's the most protected class. Muslim, check. A woman, check. Vegan, check. Animal rights activist, check. Libtard, check. And she goes in and does a whole complete photo shoot using probably a 9-megapixel camera. Okay, maybe a Beretta 9-megapixel. And she took a couple of pictures of 3 or 4 people. You know, one had a picture taken of his leg, another had a picture taken of whatever else, and luckily she took the camera on herself before the police got there, and decided to give herself she gave a selfie, and that was the end of her. Oh man. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the show. Light day today. Bix is on vacation in another paradise place. He's in Hawaii. Siege is in Florida, and I'm in cold ass New York. I love it. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
I appreciate you holding the fort down, B.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, guys, thank you all for listening in. With that being said, I am the notorious, glorious Gorilla, El Señor Gorilla. He is El Cuco. We are over and out. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Peace out.